Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. It really does pain me to say this because I truly dislike CM Punk, but I have found myself agreeing with CM Punk on this one thing, maybe on this second thing, but definitely on this first thing that I'm going to talk about, which is CM Punk on the criticisms of the finish of John Cena's retirement match. Now, I want to point out something that's really important. About 4 weeks ago, let's say maybe even 5 weeks ago, John Cena went on the Joe Rogan Experience, the Joe Rogan podcast, and John Cena said this. He said, "Once I retire on December 13th, 3 weeks later, nobody's going to talk about me. Everyone is going to forget about me." Well, John, I am not going to forget about you, and I'm going to keep bringing you up over and over and over and over again because you are the greatest of all time. But there is some truth to that just the entertainment cycle and the wrestling cycle moves so quickly that even someone like John Cena, who is literally the greatest of all time, gets forgotten about in 3 weeks. But CM Punk spoke about the finish of John Cena's retirement match, and this is exactly what CM Punk said, where I find myself agreeing with him, which truly does sort of pain me. But here's what CM Punk said. Some people, maybe, I don't think you understand what you're watching, but if you didn't like it, I can also understand that. But to overnight make it your entire personality and spend an unhealthy amount of time talking about it. Put it this way, if John won, they'd be mad about it too. But we wouldn't be talking about it anymore, and we're still talking about that finish, the smile, the tap, the oh my God, the guy that said, "Don't give up, just gave up." Did he? Everybody's an expert. I thought it was beautiful. Yes, I agree with CM Punk. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was well executed. And it sort of went against what John Cena actually thought was going to happen, right? John Cena goes on the Joe Rogan podcast. He says everyone's going to forget about me in 3 weeks. And I think that's actually true if John Cena just wins that match clean. Or if John Cena just loses 1, 2, 3 in the ring. Either way, if John Cena won clean or lost to a pinfall, I think it's very much less memorable. And John Cena's right, people sort of forget about it. Maybe they bring up John Cena's career, or they bring up his farewell tour, or they bring up his heel run, or whatever the case may be, but they don't talk about the finish, and they don't talk about that match, and they don't talk about the retirement match nearly as much as they are doing right now. And so the finish was perfect. 1, you never expected it. 2, John Cena did exactly what he said he was going to do. Leave the business better than he found it. And 3rd, it manufactured the right amount of heat for Gunther, who could capitalize on that moving forward. Now we see Gunther going into a feud, hopefully an actual feud with AJ Styles. It's not just a one-off match. And then the rumors for Gunther swirling around in 2026 is that he's going to retire Brock Lesnar, he's going to retire AJ Styles, and potentially might retire the returning Chris Jericho. So will we see the AJ Styles and Gunther feud lead all the way into WrestleMania 42? I don't know if AJ Styles is going to retire that early on in the year, but we'll see. Brock Lesnar has stated that he wants to retire at SummerSlam. Will that be where Gunther faces Brock Lesnar? And then there's been a lot of rumors about Chris Jericho potentially returning. Maybe, and if he does, I think Gunther will be the one to retire him. And then maybe you hopefully see a 2027 CM Punk retirement. But off that, CM Punk also addressed the criticisms that Jey Uso is getting. So he addressed the criticisms of the John Cena finish of the retirement match, which I agree with. It was perfect, excellently executed, and it built Gunther in the process. Now CM Punk also addressed the online hate that Jey Uso gets is nothing, because the reactions that he receives in every single audience that they go to truly tells the story. He says that during the farewell tour of John Cena and CM Punk were battling with Jey Uso for merch sales that night. So you can hate all you want on Jey Uso, and I certainly have on this program, because I just don't think he could cut it as a main event caliber superstar in the ring. There was too many matches where he just underdelivered over and over and over again. But that does not mean that he's not super over. That does not mean that the fans don't love him. I'm going to criticize someone who cannot hack it in the ring as a singles competitor. He's much better as a tag team wrestler. They had the Jey Uso experiment. The experiment is kind of still going on because, as CM Punk is stating, he is still getting uber large reactions in every single venue that they go to, battling with for loudest pop of the night and most merch sales. So I'm not fully convinced that Jey Uso is done with his singles career. I'm not fully convinced. There was something there at the end where he lost to, I believe it was LA Knight, to lose to go to the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament, where something happened in his brain. It looks like he's kind of confused, and now he just got thrusted into the tag team, back into the tag team division, and then they win the tag team titles, and it just seems like he's still a bit conflicted. I don't think he's through or completely finished, at least in his own mind, with his singles run. So I'm interested to see what happens with Jimmy and Jay, where that leads. Will there be some sort of turn, or will there be the reuniting of the bloodline, or what's going to happen there? So most of the time, I'm just talking shit about CM Punk because I think he's a con artist. I think he's a fraud, and I'm not a big fan of him. But when he says something that I agree with, I will point it out. Like, I do agree with him on how the finish of John Cena's retirement match went. I think it was perfect. I think it was beautifully executed. And yeah, too many people think they're experts and know everything, which they fucking don't. And then I also agree with him in the fact that Jey Uso is extremely popular regardless of how he produces in the ring. And I mean, CM Punk wrestled Jey Uso in matches where Jey Uso, actively was not doing the right thing and was messing up and was botching spots, and CM Punk is still saying this stuff about him because it's true. We're not commenting on his lack of in-ring ability or his inability to produce in big time singles matches. We are strictly talking about the fact that he is very, very, very popular, and whatever you read online is not necessarily true about what's actually happening in real life, and that doesn't just go for professional wrestling or WWE. So please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.